So this is a Bailey Pageant Provence. It's going to take you around the van, show you how it operates. Front of the van you've got the hitch, jockey wheel and handbrake. We'll take you through that in person here on site. Front of the van you've got the gas regulator on the bulkhead and the gas pipe work coming to the bottle. It's a reverse thread fitment that goes into the top of the bottle, and on top of the bottle you've got your valve for turning the gas on and off. Carry a maximum of 2 6-kilogram propane gas bottles on board the van at any time. Front right hand side of the van you've got your wind down leg to stabilise the caravan while it's on site. You'd never lift the caravan with these legs as it could potentially damage the floor of the caravan. You've then got your battery box with your battery in there and your mains power lead coming to the side of the van. So you've got your terminals on top to connect to the battery, and also behind the power lead you've got your motor mover power switch, which will take you through in person here on site. Then you've got your motor mover and your wheel nuts. So the motor mover again will demonstrate while you're here, and we'll torque the wheel nuts to the correct manufacturer's setting before you leave site with the van. You've got your grey waste pipes on the side of the van, so the fresh water that comes in the back of the van down here, which I'll get to in a moment. The grey water will come out of here, so that's essentially the water from the sink, the 2 sinks and the shower on board the van. Toilet waste cassette is in the cabinet in the cupboard just here. You release the cassette by pulling up the orange handle and pulling it towards you. The neck here turns out to tip the waste away. The grey cap is a measure for the blue toilet fluid, and you've got an orange pressure relief button on the back of the cassette. So before you use that cassette you'll need to put 1 litre of water in there and a cap full of the blue fluid. Up on top here you've got the toilet flush tank, so you'll need to put 3.5 litres of water in here and a cap full of the pink fluid prior to use. Obviously you've got to open it up and put the fluid in. And if you ever want to drain that down, there is actually a drain just at the top here that pops down to drain that fluid down while you're travelling. Back around this side you've got your Truma heating vent. You'll need to remove this cover before you ignite anything on gas inside of the caravan. So essentially that is the gas flue for the caravan. So like I said, you need to remove that before you ignite anything on gas. Water pump connection goes in the back of the van, as you can see here, and the pickup end drops down inside the aqua. On the back of the van on either side you have your wind down legs to stabilise the caravan again, and again you would not lift the caravan with these legs because it could potentially damage the floor of the van. On the door side of the caravan you have your fridge vents. They're essentially there to let hot air out the back of the fridge unit, and behind the top cover here you actually have a gas flue for the gas operation of the fridge. You also have a 3-pin socket to put power out to your awning. So that's a 230 volt socket that allows you to plug in lights, etc. inside your awning. Coming inside of the van, a very simple to use caravan. Just as you come in the door, on the left hand side you've got your master power switch, which you'll need to have on if you're running on 12 volt or 240. Internal lighting is all done on the switch here, but they have got individual switches as you go around the van. You've got your awning light for above the door outside of the caravan, and you've got your water pump switch down on the bottom right hand side. And at the top here you've got the voltmeter for the battery on board the caravan. To fill the water system on board the van, you're first of all going to need to come underneath the seat at the rear of the caravan. And underneath here you'll find a yellow valve just down on the floor there. That yellow valve, before you fill the water system, needs to be parallel with the floor. If you're draining the water system down, that yellow valve needs to be upright, pointing towards the bottom of the seat, so it drains the system down completely. But like I said, parallel with the floor to fill the water system. Once you've got that valve parallel with the floor, you need to come over to every tap on board the caravan and open it up on the hot side. As you can see, water system's already full on this particular van because I've already bled it. But you'll open the tap in the kitchen completely open, the tap on the bathroom sink, and the tap on the shower also. So all them taps wide open on the hot side. Once you've opened all them taps up, you'll come over to the water pump and you'll turn the water pump on. At that point, the water will start drawing up from the aqua roll on the outside of the van, and once the system's full, every tap will have water running out of it continuously like this, as you can see. Once that system is full, you can shut all of the taps back off, and you'll be able to start warming the water on board the caravan. So below the seat at the rear of the caravan, it also turns into the rear beds, you've got your hot water switch on electric, so you'd need to turn this on if you were using 240 volt as a power source. Next to it you have your option to run gas. So if you want to operate the water heating on gas, you can spin this dial around to the flame symbol just here. The gas system will self-ignite, and once it's ignited you can control the water temperature on this dial in the centre between 30 and 70 degrees. The red lights come on at the moment just because the gas is turned off and I haven't removed the vent cover on the outside. turn the gas supply back off, you'll spin it back round to the off position just here. The green light in there actually means it's trying to ignite, or it has ignited. Obviously if the red light doesn't appear, then you know it has ignited on gas. So that's your water heating, electric on the left hand side and gas on the right hand side. You'd never turn on the water heater until the water system is completely full. I'm going to take you around to the heating now for the caravan. Now down this end of the van, you have the heater just down here on the floor. And behind this panel on the wall, we should have our dials for the electric heating. So to turn on the electric heater, you're going to need to make sure this switch is on the left hand side. Then on the right hand side here, you've got the option of 500, 1000 or 2000 watts of power coming into the caravan. Whatever you select this to will depend on the amount of power coming into the caravan from the caravan site you're on. So for instance, here on site we can run a maximum of 500 watts. Once you've got the power supply selected that you want to use, you can control the temperature of the heater on the black dial in the centre. The higher you go, number wise, the hotter the heater will be. If you ask in the site office when you arrive on site, as in the campsite you're going to, or caravan site should I say, and ask if you can run your heating on 500, 1000 or 2000, they will advise you of the correct power supply to run it on. So main power on, and then you select your power down the side and control the temperature of the heater on the dial in the centre. To run your heating on gas, so that's your main heating for the caravan, you have a dial on top here. You spin the dial round to between 10 and 9 with the gas turned on. Press down the gas valve, then in the front of the heater, if it ignites, you'll have a pilot light in this window. When it does ignite, you'll need to hold down the gas valve for a further 5 to 10 seconds to allow the thermocouple to warm up. Then you'll slowly release the gas valve once that amount of time has passed. Once that's ignited and it's running as it should, you can control the temperature of the heater on the dial on top. And if you want to turn the heater back off, you can turn it back past the 0 point here, and it will stop the gas system from operating. Now on this side you have your option for your blown air. So this dial here is for the fan speed of your blown air heating. The dot in the centre here indicates the heat is going to come out the front of the heater with no blown air operating. The wave symbol on the left hand side will actually allow you to turn on the blown air option for the heating. So essentially then the heat, once the system is warmed up, will come out of these vents around the caravan that you can see just down the bottom of the van. But that will be continuous blown air. If you want to use it so it essentially kicks in and out like a thermostat in your house, you can put it onto the A on the right hand side and the blown air heating will kick in and out, like I said, just like the thermostat at home. Next thing we're going to go to is the fridge operation. Now at the top here, you've got your off position for the fridge. Next one round is your 240 volt operation, so when you connect it to mains power. And you can control the temperature of the fridge on gas or electric on this dial on the right hand side. If you want to use 12 volt to chill the fridge while you're travelling down the road, so essentially when you're connected to your car, you can use the fridge as a cool box. You'll need to come inside the caravan once you're connected and you've got the car running, and select the 12 volt mode. So that's the battery symbol that you see it pointing out right now. Like I said, the fridge will just be a cool box at this point, it will not be a fridge. To ignite the fridge on gas, you'll spin the dial to the gas symbol at the bottom here. You'll press it in the temperature valve, very similar to what we did with the heater on the other side, then hit the igniter on the right hand side. Once the fridge is ignited, on the left hand side of the fridge here, you'll have a little red line that you can see here, which will come round into the green, and essentially that is your pilot light. Once that red line has gone round into the green, you'll do very similar to the heater, continue holding in the temperature valve for 5 to 10 seconds, then slowly release the gas valve, and if it doesn't drop back out, then you're good to go and the fridge is running on gas. To turn the fridge off at any point, you spin the dial back round to the top and it turns the power off to the fridge. Microwave, hob, grill and oven all work very much like your household appliances. There is no differences at all there. In the bathroom, you have your electric toilet flush. So on top here, electric toilet flush. You have a toilet full indicator light to let you know when the toilet waste cassette is full. The toilet seat, as you can probably imagine, wouldn't be very comfortable in this position, so you can turn the toilet seat for convenience. However, when you are removing the toilet cassette from underneath the van, you'll need to make sure the toilet is pointing straight across the van, back towards the wall where the toilet roll holder is. To allow the toilet waste into the cassette under the van, just below the seat here, you'll notice there's grey flap. You need to push over to the far side of the toilet to allow the toilet waste into the cassette under the van. We do advise when you finish going to the loo that you shut that back off, and we do advise before you use the loo to open it up, because it isn't like a standard toilet where you have water in the bowl. It only has the flush water when you flush the toilet system itself. If you have any further questions on the Bailey Pageant Provence, don't hesitate to give us a call here at the Caravan Company. We'd be more than happy to help. We appreciate the business, and we look forward to seeing you here on site when you collect your caravan. Thank you very much for now, and goodbye.